A future search is a methodology that was developed by some colleagues of mine, Marvin Weisborg, and Sandra Janoff. Marvin has been he is probably one of the best known gurus of organization development in the world. In the mid-'80s, Marvin wrote a book called Productive Workplaces that literally changed the idea and notion about how people do the job that I do. And then in the early 1990s, he came up with this process called Future Search that revolutionized strategic planning meetings. And so, here are the conditions or the basics for a Future Search conference. You try to get the whole system in the room. So that's why we have 8 stakeholder groups, and that's why we have 8 people, at least 8 people in them. We're trying to get the whole system or as much of it as realistic in the room. We globally explore. That means we take a broad view, and then before we take a local view. So we will do some work that'll seem very much overview, but it's all a part of the plan. The next step is that we're focused on the future and finding common ground. This meeting is about focusing on the future and finding common ground. And then the last step is self-management and responsibility for actions, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Let me go back to this one, focus on the future and common ground. This is not a problem-solving meeting. This is not a meeting where you are expected to find something that you disagree with someone about and argue with them and put them in a headlock until you get them to agree with you. Marvin would say that is a complete waste of energy. What we will do in this meeting is find the things that we can agree on and move toward the future. Now the task. The task is why we're here. And it's community transportation for all. And it's about the things that will affect the task. So we have world trends that are coming into community transportation for all. And this is actually how the steering committee brainstormed and thought about who should be here. We talked about some of the things happening in the world, an increasing aging population, global warming, people wanting to have a different kind of transportation, congestion, all of that. And so we said those things are all having an impact on transportation for all. So then we said, and all of these people have a piece of that. Business, education, government, public safety, social services, housing, we weren't sure about that one, health care, and community. And so from that, we developed our 8 stakeholder groups and invited you all to be here. And from that, we hope we will have action planning by Thursday afternoon. Now, that's the task. So how are we going to do this? I keep talking about Thursday afternoon. Well, we are here. And today we will focus on the past, where we've been. And you'll get a chance to do that in a minute. And then tomorrow in the morning, we'll talk about the present, where we are right now. Tomorrow in the afternoon, we will dream about the future, what we want. And then this should be day 3. How do we get there? We'll have action planning on Thursday morning. Quite a lot of work, quite exciting. Okay. The working agreement. As a conference, you are the participants. This doesn't work without you. So I need you to think in your mind that you are in agreement to provide information and make meaning in your small groups. That you manage your own group, including your time while you're in the group. And that you do the future scenario planning and action step planning. Bengt and I will do this. We will set the time and the task. We will also manage the large group discussions. Right now you're sitting in one of 3 constellations that this conference works in. Mixed group, stakeholder group, large group. And we will manage the discussions in the large group. We will also help to keep the purpose front and center. Now, here are some ground rules. All ideas are valid. Everything that is said goes on a flip chart, that you listen to each other. Remember, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Observe time frames. Seek common ground and actions. Differences and problems are acknowledged but not worked. Okay? Now, how does a group self-manage itself? Here we go. Every time you get together, there will be a statement in the workbook that says manage, self-manage. That means have a discussion leader in your small group. Someone who creates space for everyone to talk in the time given. Have a timekeeper. Someone to let you know how much time you have left. Notice how effective a timekeeper is. We managed to get around this circle in less than 30 minutes. Pretty amazing. Recorder. The recorder writes on the flip chart. And then your group will have a reporter. Now, each group will make a report out. Sometimes the report will be 3 minutes. Sometimes it will be 5. But your timekeeper will need to keep you on task so that when your 3 minutes is up, they'll say, cut off, stop talking. Because if they don't, I'm also keeping time and I will cut you off and move to the next group. It's very important that we stay with the time.